Hey there, it's Mandy from Designer Chameleon. Today I have something a little bit different. I have a new set of gouache paint from Arteza, and I have been so excited to try this for so long. Literally years I've wanted to try this paint, and I finally have it. I splurged. It was a little gift from me to me after a interesting roller coastery couple of months, and I cannot wait to play with these. If this is something that you're interested in, I hope you'll stick with me. Please give this video a like so that I know to make more of these. Also, subscribe, ring the bell so that you're notified when a new video comes along. And lastly, this is just a sneak peek because there are 60 colors. So this is the swatch layer on top of the box. As you can see, it's printed on kind of a shiny laminated type of box. So I'm going to do my own swatches. That's what we're going to work on today. So let's take a look at what I've set up to get the swatches done. First off, I have some CanSun watercolor paper. It's quite large, so I did end up cutting it down for my purposes today, but I'm going to be using this to make my own little swatch book. For the swatch book itself, I have a happy planner. This is a 2020-2021 mini planner. I haven't used it for its intended purpose, but I will be using these pages for other things. But I also thought because of the paint motif on the front that this was perfect for creating my swatch book. So I took that paper and I just cut a few sheets down so that they would be the perfect size to fit in this little notebook here. And I used my happy planner punch to punch it. So we're all set, we're good to go with our paper. And now it's time for paint. In this set of 60 paints, there are 12 metallics. So I figured why not start with the metallics? That's definitely a fun point, something that made me splurge on the big box. So we'll jump in with these first. And as we do, I'll explain why I decided that I was so interested in gouache in the first place. So gouache paint is water-based, but what makes it different from actual watercolors is the fact that it is opaque. So if you're using a watercolor paint and you want to layer it, you can never layer a lighter color on top of a darker color because it's transparent. You'll be able to see through it. With gouache, it got the characteristics of acrylic. So you can paint a dark blue sky, let's say, and then go in with white stars on top in gouache. If you're using watercolor and you painted a dark blue sky and you wanted to go in with some white stars, you would have to use a different medium, a different kind of paint, something that's opaque that you could use over top. So that's what really got me so intrigued about gouache. It's got that multi-characteristic or dual characteristic between a watercolor, so it's water activated, you could reactivate it and maneuver it, mess with it, change it around a little bit if you're not happy with the results, but it's also got that opacity that an acrylic has. So if you've ever been curious, about what gouache is or why someone might want to use it, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight. So now that we have a palette all set up here, we're going to just go ahead and make some streaks. We're not going to do anything fancy with it because this is intended to be my my swatch book. This is intended to be my swatch book. Words are hard. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it without any water at all and make a few streaks. Now you might be wondering, why would you want to do that if it's water-based? If it's similar to watercolor, wouldn't you want to see what the water does with it? Yes, I mean, obviously I am interested in what the water does to it. However, the purpose of this is just for me to have the color, because when you're looking at it on the box, the color doesn't exactly look true to form, if you will. If you want to really see what the color looks like once it's applied, you need to create some sort of a swatch book. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I am going to put on some music and make a super enjoyable, relaxing session for myself of playing with my new paint. So if that is something that sounds relaxing to you, I hope that you can sit back, have a nice cup of tea or whatever it is that you want to drink maybe a glass of wine. It's early where I am, but if it's later where you are, I could say go for it and create my swatch book. Now that the metallics are swatched, I have to say I'm even more excited. I mean, these colors are just amazing. They're gorgeous. They're stunning. This paint is so much fun. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to play with this. The splurge was worth it. I'm glad I did it. I should have worked on laying out the page a little bit better, but that's okay. It's a swatch book. It's supposed to just be a swatch book. I'm not trying to win an award for my layout of my swatches in my little swatch book here. So we're going to keep going. Let's take a look at some of the other colors. I think I'm going to take kind of a Roy G. Biv approach. So, you know, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So I've pulled out the reds and pinks. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them these on this page. If this is as satisfying for you as it is for me, stay tuned. So things I'm learning as I'm going along. First of all, the opacity is everything I dreamed it would be. They're super opaque. I didn't realize that there were going to be neons. This peach red is totally neon. I'm not sure that my camera can pick that up, but it's vibrant. This rose color with all of the purple undertones, if that shows up on my camera, I want a lipstick in it, stat. It's just stunning. So I'm loving these. I definitely have some favorites. When it comes back to these metallics, my husband would say the boring colors tend to pull me in, which always cracks me up. But this pearl sage green just has a quality to it that is delicious, and I am super digging it. Obviously, the bronze, I have a thing for bronze, and this pearl coral, I'm thinking mixed these two will make a beautiful rose gold that I am dying to play with. So far, so good. So of course, the saffron orange and the lemon yellow, which I accidentally wrote as yellow lemon, are completely speaking to me. Again, the colors are super gorgeous, very saturated. Red, orange, yellow, green. Are we ready? The gorgeous greens. I expected nothing less. This lime green is one of my favorite colors ever. I absolutely adore it. I need to find something fun to do with that stat. The sage green is so soft. Loving that. I have no clue why this is called pale green because it doesn't look pale to me at all. But loving the greens, keeping going. Next up is blues. With the blues and purples, I did have a couple of surprises. So this ice blue, stunning. I actually have a nail polish this color. It's one of my favorites. The sky blue doesn't look like sky to me at all. This is like a denim blue in my mind, but that's okay. The cerulean, gorgeous, completely love. This violet looks black. I'm going to be really curious to play with this one, watered down a little bit more, but it looks, in my room, in my lighting right this minute, it looks black, super pigmented. And the lilac is pretty, the mauve is mauve. So enjoying the blues. Next up, we're going to do the last set, which will be browns, grays, neutrals, and then we'll give an overall thought on the paints themselves. Now that everything's been swatched in, let's take a little flip through and then we'll do a little test with some of our dried paints over here. So we have all of the metallics in their glory. I know I said it before, but I can't wait to mix this bronze and this pearl coral because I think it will make a rose gold gorgeousness. We've got the basics, the whites and the tans, black and gray. This ballerina pink, I guess I should have swatched over here on the page with the reds and pinks. but it's not really that pink. It's kind of just more of a nude. It's almost like my skin tone color. So I'm okay with that being over there. I've got the peaches and oranges, the greens, and the blues and purples. I'm really happy with how this turned out. You know, I got to use the paper that I wanted. It's in a nice disc bind, which makes it super easy. It's in this notebook that has that fun paint kind of motif to it. So I'm happy with it. You know, I wasn't going for anything crazy and formal. I just, you know, wanted to test out the colors. But let's see how they perform when they're dry, because the thing with gouache and what I mentioned before was that it works like watercolor, being that it's water activated, but it's opaque like acrylic. So this is the brush that I've been using to do all my swatches, and it's just a super cheapo brush that I found at the bottom of one of my drawers. There's definitely nothing special about it, and it loses hairs like crazy. So we're not going to use this. I actually paused my little project, went and picked up some lunch, and I also got some paintbrushes. So my new paintbrush jar, which is actually a vase that I got at the local craft store, and a bunch of gorgeous brushes. They were having a 50% off sale, so I couldn't help myself. So we're going to grab a brush and some water and actually see how the dried paint performs. So we'll dip in. Hopefully I grabbed, yep, a paper towel. And we're going to try and reactivate something. So let's just, something that'll show up that I have enough of left over. Let's just grab this red here. Yeah, so that's reactivating amazingly well. And you can see that it does sort of blend out like a watercolor, although you can get that fully opaque look. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I just started making a little squiggle, but let's turn this into something. So I think I'm going to turn this into a balloon, just because that's super quick and easy. And I do like drawing balloons. I actually have a few different balloon kits in my shop for stickers. I'm getting carried away with the opacity, but I got to fix this side here because it blew out. Okay, so now that that side's fixed, now I'm not happy with this side because that's how it works. Okay, now I need to decide which side is going to be my sunny side, or my light source if you want to be technical. I don't like being technical. I'm just going to call it my sunny side. So we're going to go with this one. I'm going to blend that out a little bit. Now I'm actually trying to remove some paint because I did get carried away initially. Okay, much happier with that. And then I'm going to take this metallic, can you see it on? There we go. This metallic pearly color, and reactivate just a little bit of that. Okay, cool. So this is going to have to dry for that to work. I'll grab a different brush. Oh wait, it needs a little bottom piece. This is what happens when I try and do something on camera. I get all staggered. There we go. I need a little bit of a darker tone in there. So maybe I'll grab a little bit of black. I think that turned purple, but we're going to play with it anyway because we can. I'm actually liking what that's doing, so we're going to kind of go with it. I also went to the gym today, which is kind of funny. If you know me, I don't really gym, but my son, that's his passion. He actually wants to be a personal trainer, so he has basically required that Mama goes to the gym and trains with him. So he has been training me at his gym, with the gym owner, obviously, but uh, it's fun, but I do feel a little bit worn out and a little bit shaky when I get back. And apparently the dog feels a little bit of something too. All right, grab a different brush. See if this is anywhere near dryish. Yeah, it's a little dryish. I'm probably pushing my luck, not waiting any longer than I am, but that's okay because we're just playing. So we're going to get some of this activated. Get my brush a little bit drier. Okay, hopefully you can see that because the thing that I was excited about most is seeing that you can use the lighter color on top of the darker color, which with watercolors you absolutely cannot do. So it allows you to create a little bit more dimension after the fact if you're used to working from dark to light. And for whatever reason, I just prefer working dark to light. And I apologize for the dog in the background. Okay, pretty fun. I'm happy with it. Grab some black. I thought this was black. It should be black, but it's not looking black. One quick and easy way to remedy that, grab some black. We'll just put it right here. My hands are shaky, like I said, which makes this a little tricky. Cool. So a super quick makeshift balloon, nothing too excited or too exciting or too difficult, obviously, but I'm happy with what I bought. So my goal was to find something that works like an acrylic, but also works like a watercolor, because that to me is like the perfect combination. You get that with gouache, and it has lived up to my expectations. So my first attempt and my swatch book, I'm happy. I can't wait to do some more fun things. Thanks for sticking with me. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe. I'd love to see you stop by the next time I post a video, and have a great day. Bye.